Music, something most of us enjoy. But have you ever wondered how music actually affects the brain? Well, no need to think about that anymore, so I've done all the research for you. In this video, I will explain the effects music has on different parts of the brain and whether genre really does matter. Most of the people watching this should know that the brain is separated into different parts. Each part has a different job. But does music affect the different parts? Let's find out. Let's start with the frontal lobe, which is used for thinking, decision making, and planning. Music enhances the functions of this part of the brain, allowing us to think better and faster. Next, we have the cerebellum. The cerebellum is responsible for coordinating movement and stores physical memory. Quote, an Alzheimer's patient, even if he doesn't recognize his wife, could still play the piano if he learned it when he was young, because playing has become a muscle memory. Those memories in the cerebellum never fade out. Now we talk about the nucleus accumbens, which is responsible for seeking pleasure and reward and plays a big role in addiction, as it releases the neurotransmitter, dopamine. Quote, music can be a drug, a very addictive drug, because it's also acting on the same part of the brain as illegal drugs. Music increases dopamine in the nucleus accumbens, similar to cocaine. Next is the amygdala, which controls your emotions. Quote, music can control your fear, make you ready to fight, and increase pleasure. This shows that music puts you in a better mood. Next is the hippocampus. The hippocampus produces and retrieves memories, regulates emotional responses, and helps us navigate. Considered the central processing unit of the brain, it is one of the first regions of the brain to be affected by Alzheimer's disease, leading to confusion and memory loss. Quote, music may increase neurogenesis in the hippocampus, allowing production of new neurons and improving memory. Finally, we have the putamen. This part of the brain processes rhythm and regulates body movement and coordination. Quote, music can increase dopamine in this area, and music increases our response to rhythm. By doing this, music temporarily stops the symptoms of Parkinson's disease. Rhythmic music, for example, has been used to help Parkinson's patients function, such as getting up and down and even walking, because Parkinson's patients need assistance in moving, and music can help them, kind of like a cane. Unfortunately, after the music stops, pathology comes back. Now we know that music affects the brain. But do different genres of music have different effects? Let's find out. First up, we have classical. Quote, classical enhances dopamine secretion and synaptic function, learning, and memory. Next up, we have heavy metal. Quote, heavy metal elicits a sense of identity and knack for community development. Next is rap. Quote, rap stimulates emotion, language, motivation, motor function, and processing via flow state. Now we talk about pop / rock. Personally, I don't like pop. I'm scared of it. But here's a quote. Quote, pop / rock improves endurance and enhances physical performance. It can also distract you while you're working. Now we have jazz. Quote, jazz soothes the body. Finally, we have electronic music. Quote, the rise and fall of rhythm in electronic music can replicate the feeling of building anticipation and producing dopamine. Most EDM tracks follow the same pattern of building up a beat, which imitates suspense and thrill in the brain. When the beat drops, the brain releases the happy chemical. In conclusion, music does affect the brain positively and is very addicting. We also learned that genre does indeed affect the brain differently. With all that said, goodbye.